We got some good news for one team in the NFL. That team is the Arizona Cardinals, who are right now the worst team in the league, projected to pick number 1 overall in the draft, but they're getting a couple of key pieces back. This from Adam Schefter earlier. James Conner, the running back, they are opening the practice window for him to return. He's been on injury reserve the past 4 games, recovering from a knee injury. But that, coupled with the fact that Kyler Murray, their quarterback, their franchise guy, gave the big money contract to, he has not played a game since last December. And barring any setbacks this week, he will get the start on Sunday against the Atlanta Falcons. So Week 14 of last year, last time he saw him, he goes down with the injury. He recovers. Now he's back for Arizona. They find themselves as a 2-point underdog against those Atlanta Falcons coming up this Sunday. And it feels like this back half of the season for Kyler Murray, he could be playing for his future in Arizona. Because if this doesn't go well, they're probably looking at a quarterback atop the draft next year.
Potentially. I mean, they sound like they're really committed to him, and contractually, I believe, past this year, it wouldn't be that easy to move on from him next year. I mean, you'd be thinking more via a trade, not so much cutting him. So that's, I think, some of the issue with that. But I don't know. I'm excited to see him get back in there and play. He's an exciting player, but he's got a long-term deal. And, in 2024, I believe the dead cap hits like $81 million. So it's going to be a couple of years, I think, before they can potentially move on from him. This isn't to take away from Josh Dobbs. Who knows if he had more time to prepare for the season. But I think if you're looking at Kyler Murray as an upgrade at quarterback, the way this team's competed and played, if Murray can win them a few games, who knows how it would have looked, the rest of the season would have looked the way this team's played. Like, they've hung in there. They've, as the seasons wore on, kind of, I won't say fall by the wayside, but they've had some issues. But I think they're very much capable of competing and winning some football games if he's going to be able to get back up to 100%. But again, I don't think they're going to move on from him, and I don't think they're going to be able to find a trade partner for him even next year. His cap hit next year's almost $52 million.
Yeah, I think that's the key. I don't think he's tradable.
Not yet. Not until 2025, probably.
Correct. But I would say to add to your point, in some regards, you could actually look at the idea of Kyler Murray's value being established right now with him not being in the lineup, right? This is a competitive team when he's healthy and he's upright. And we always make the joke, oh, look, he looks like Super Mario out there running around and stuff like that, and he looks like he's in fast forward or whatever it may be. But to that point, Kyler Murray has always really had this team competitive when he's starting. And now you're looking at a team that's really, really struggling without his services. So that could go to drive the point home that, you know what, we did get it right with Kyler Murray. And the only knock on Kyler Murray was, one, it's questionable as to how the team, the players may have felt about him in the locker room, which is speculation, and that he really enjoys his video games more than anything else. If those are the two criticisms, I think both are correctable criticisms. Nothing has fallen on the way he plays the game. And so to me, you're looking at a team that is struggling. If you're high up in the draft ranks and you're getting a pick of picks, why wouldn't you think about getting a compliment to what Kyler Murray brings to the table? Get a good wide receiver. Beef up your offensive line. Like, do one of those things.
I wonder if this is going to end up being a blessing in disguise for him, because there was the knock on him that, maybe football wasn't his, the first priority, that maybe he
video games.
Yeah, the video games, all that other stuff that was going on. I wonder if this is the first real injury he's had to deal with, and he's had to stare his own mortality in the eyes and be like, man, I kind of like this, and I appreciate it more now than maybe I thought I ever would, because I lost it for so long. And
he might have threw his remote control. He might have been sitting on the couch or in his gaming chair and threw his gaming chair across the room.
Let me paint this for you, though, in regards to Murray. Like, we tend to forget the type of production that he's had as a player, like if you kind of throw out last year, which a little bit became a dumpster fire, and he obviously wasn't able to play the entirety of the season, and so who knows how things would have turned out. But in the previous 3 years, he's thrown north of 3,700 yards. All right. Like that's what he's giving you every single year. He's going to throw somewhere around 23, 24 touchdown passes. He's going to run in, because he is a tremendous athlete. He's going to run in another, I don't know, based on some of those stats, it kind of has varied, but for the most part, you're going to get at least 5, 6, in a second year, he had 11 rushing touchdowns, but somewhere over 400 yards rushing, 500 yards rushing. You could throw onto that. He's got a 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. He's completed 67% of his passes. Like that, you can win with that. Like that's a quarterback. That's a franchise consistent quarterback in the league. It's just, I don't know. I mean, he was a 2-time Pro Bowler. I don't know that this, roster was built to the point where when they made the playoffs, they were ultimately going to be able to compete the way maybe the ownership and front office thought they would. But the way this group is playing right now, and if they get better quarterback play, I think they could be competitive. I'm not sure how many games they're going to win this year, but as they continue to build, like I give them a shot.
At his best, he's a top 3 to 5 quarterback in the NFC.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I mean, I think statistically, you could make that argument based on what he's done, and up until last year, and I continue to say this, like they were building towards that.
Yep.
Like he got better and better and better with each season as he played. Like you could see that statistically, you could see that with the way their team played. And then last year was just kind of like what the hell happened there, But as an offensive rookie of the year in year one, 2-time Pro Bowler after that, he had been everything you wanted him to be. And then they had that kind of all-in year last year. It didn't work out. And I hope, I think what they're building now with Jonathan Gannon, at least early on, it looks like this could be a team that's competitive and might surprise a lot of people if he comes back as healthy and can play the way we've seen in the past.
I mean, how about you and I trying to provide some optimism for the Cardinals and supporting Kyler Murray, and LaVar's got him throwing his gamer chair, trying to come back from
that was optimism.
Jeez.
It's like a Rocky movie, right? Like you're in there and you're retired, but then you're watching and you see Apollo Creed get the life knocked out of him, and then you're like, the hell with this game. Why am I playing these video games? Why am I just letting my life just get away from me? And then you throw your chair, and then you throw your remote control, and then you start watching film, and they play the Rocky music, and then you start doing push-ups and sit-ups and stretching exercises to make your right. Man. There you go. There you go. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying, like, he heard that little voice in his head, you play video games, don't you?
Oh, it's got to be,
what I mean?
It's got to be a little voice.
Yeah, he's got all these voices coming at him, and then, and then he gets in shape, and you guys all know what happens next. He goes to the top of one of those mountains that he's hiking in Arizona, and he looks over and he goes, like NFC.
He's got his VR goggles on playing
NFC.
There it is.
NFC, and then he comes out of the tunnel, and then he commenced to like womping ass. Then Arizona wins out the rest of their games, the rest of the year.
Now, would he be listening to this or the Super Mario Brothers theme? Which do you think?
Do we have the Super Mario?
Why would he be Super Mario?
Well, it's a video game theme. LaVar's got him as a gamer, not really a football player.
I didn't say he's a gamer and not really a football player. Okay. I said what was stated in his contract. See, this song, along with the clause of putting in extra amount of time studying your plays versus playing video games, this was the song.
Can you imagine if he had this on, like getting back into shape, like he's doing, 225-pound lunges across the weight room floor, and he's got this banging on the speakers?
No, he's going to use a pool. Like, he's going to be running. He's going to be jumping over things like lawn chairs and lounger chairs and spinning around umbrellas and then jumping into the pool of water and then getting out of there and then jumping over something else, and then he's going to land on it, and it's going to make those noises. And yeah, he's like real life Mario brother.
This is terrible what you've done to the man. He's trying to come back from injury.
Well, I'm giving him his props. You said I was being negative, saying he only plays games.
don't put this on LaVar. Right?
Thank you.
Because Jonas has said things in the past too.
No, I haven't.
Sitting on the curb, his feet dangling.
Oh,
That's the best one ever, by the way.
Hold on.
That's the best one ever.
That
you
is
said that, Jonas.
La, la,
Don't
la, la,
lie.
la.
Don't lie.
totally taken out of context.
Put me in the
It
game,
really
coach.
wasn't. That's exactly what you
Oh,
said.
man.
Sitting on
Put this
the
on
bench.
LaVar.
You see him sitting on the bench, kicking his feet like, put me in the game, coach. La, 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 la.
You put this on LaVar, and then this has been you. So
Hey, somebody help me off this bench so I can go in the game.
Hide and go seek behind a donut hole. I would never say anything like that. This is too.
They
Just
said he was the
did.
main character,
when
Little
I
Man.
brought up what other sport he could play, because I was just alluding to baseball, what'd you say?
I don't recall.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, man.
You just were at Santa Anita.
Oh, jeez.
These are your words, dude.
I don't recall.
They said
Why do
Kyler
you do
Murray.
this? Why do you act
I'm
like you
a,
never said the big statements?
I'm rooting for Kyler Murray.
Kyler
Okay?
Murray gave new meaning to I'm going to hang out in the crib.
Oh, jeez.
I'm officially retired now.
Thank you, Kyler.